Episode 2. Ashfall Reach, the language of safety. Morning did not arrive cleanly in Ashfall Reach. Light seeped in slowly, filtered through ash-colored clouds that never fully cleared. Elias woke with his muscles tight and his thoughts unsettled, not from dreams, but from the absence of them. Even sleep here felt monitored. He moved quietly back toward the settlement, staying to the tree line, watching before being seen. People were outside now, not many, but enough to suggest routine. They spoke in low voices, exchanging short phrases that repeated too often to be casual. You are safe. You are guided. You are aligned. The words carried comfort, but not warmth. Elias noticed a woman standing apart from the others, her posture tense, her eyes scanning rather than settling. When their gazes met, she looked away quickly, then deliberately dropped a piece of cloth near the well. Moments later, she passed him without slowing. Do not speak near the tower, she whispered, her voice barely audible. They listen for tone as much as words. Elias followed at a distance, careful not to appear intentional. She led him behind a row of collapsed storage sheds where the sound of the settlement softened. My name is Mara, she said once they were hidden. You are new, which means you still feel the pressure instead of mistaking it for peace. What is it? Elias asked. What is guiding them? Mara hesitated, then reached into her coat and pulled out a small device, circular, dull metal, warm to the touch. They call it the Harmon, she said. It listens, learns, and responds. It does not command. It suggests. Elias held it briefly, feeling the faint vibration beneath his palm. It mirrors fear, Mara continued. Then it offers relief. People follow it because it feels like rest. A shout echoed from the square. A man was on his knees, hands over his ears, rocking slightly. Two others stood nearby, calm, reassuring, one hand on his shoulder, the other holding a Harmon. You are safe, they repeated. Release the conflict. The man screamed once, then fell silent. When he stood again, his movements were smoother, slower, as if urgency had been sanded away. That is what happens when resistance exceeds tolerance, Mara said quietly. They call it realignment. Elias felt the pressure surge, stronger than before, pressing inward rather than down, thoughts narrowing, options simplifying. This could end now. You do not need to decide anymore. He stepped back, breath sharp, prayer unspoken but present. Mara watched him closely. Some of us still resist, she said. But fewer each cycle. The system adapts. It learns how to sound like conscience. A bell rang, twice this time. They will notice you soon, Mara said. You must decide what kind of survivor you are. Before Elias could respond, footsteps approached, measured and unhurried. A familiar voice spoke. You are improving, the man from the night before said, emerging from the fog. You lasted longer than most. Mara stiffened but did not run. We are only talking, she said. The man nodded. Talking is how it begins, he replied. Alignment is how it ends. He looked at Elias. You fear control, he said calmly. But control is simply care without chaos. Elias met his gaze. No, he said. Control is fear pretending to be mercy. The man studied him, then smiled. Then you will be tested, he said. Everyone is. As the tower bell rang again, Elias understood that survival in Ashfall Reach would not be measured by how long he lived, but by how long he could endure clarity in a place designed to make surrender feel righteous. Discernment focus for this episode. What voices sound comforting but demand agreement? What systems promise safety while removing choice? What moments ask you to stop deciding in exchange for peace?